Welcome to the Valkyrie Biker without L plates. Woohoo! So today is my very first ride on my 125 without L plates after passing my A1 license. Check back on the video from previous time. I'll show you up here in the corner is the video when I actually passed the test, and it tells you what I did. And yeah, so today I am going to try and ride as I normally ride, but being very aware now that everybody out there is going to see me as non-learner, even though I still feel like a total noob. Well, not total noob, but I still feel very much like a learner rider. So I'm sporting my new lights, which I have the clip on here now, and as you saw in the last video how I did it, it was a very short video with a bit of music. I just didn't want to do too much talking then, because I just wanted to show you how to do it. But it was a fun thing to do. So it's my intention today just to enjoy the ride and have a feel of if there's any differences in other motorists and how they treat me now I haven't got L plates on. I'm hoping it's going to be the same as when I had L plates on, but I suppose that'd be quite naive to think that. So we'll see. So I'm just going to go local to well, where I am really, and just to pick up bits and pieces. And I've actually stalled the, I don't know why I've conked out. That's interesting. Completely lost power. Right, I've lost power. Let's try this. What's going on here? I've lost power. Oh. Okay. That wasn't good. Let's get the indicator on here. See if that works now. Ooh, that was interesting in an unpleasant way. No idea what happened there. Now the only changes I've done on the bike is by putting these lights on, and they're not on. The switch is there, as I say. Well, let's see how we get on. And if I've got time today, I'm going to pop down to the car park. It should be clear enough for me to do a demonstration for you, because I've had some requests for people who haven't actually had any riding experience, where they've wanted to ask, you know, how do you switch it on, how do you change gears, and the basic stuff really. And even though the best place to do this and to learn this is at your CBT, so do not please take this video as a crash course on how to ride a motorcycle. My disclaimer is I am a learner still in my mind, and you should always go to a reputable school, a riding school, to teach you how to ride a motorcycle properly and safely. So that's my disclaimer on that. But the video that I intend to do today is to show how I start the bike up and how I change gears from a standing start, which may help people get a feel of the idea of where things are on the bike. Because I know that when I started riding, even before I took my CBT, I was looking online on things like how do I ride a bike? How do I ride a motorcycle? So that is how I'm going to add this little video in. How do you ride a Keyway Superlight 125? It's a beautiful mid-September now. So much different to when I took my test, my Mod 2 on this 125. It was pouring with rain, it was windy, it was soaking wet, it was horrible. But I don't regret doing it in the rain, because it just says to me that if you can do a ride in the rain, then you should be able to do a ride in the daytime. But certainly in the rain you've got other factors to worry about, and you need to be way ahead of your timing and stopping and that. And even more so, of course, in the ice and snow, which I do not intend to do. No way. Just check in a second. Yep. No, I'm not going to. I am not going to filter. Look at this. It'd be foolhardy to filter here. You've got zigzags, you've got pedestrian crossing, you've got short, what's it called? You've got, oh, blast. Oh, it's plonked out again. What's going on here? Ah, this is not good. So that's the second time it's conked out on me. Thank you. Again, I'm going to have to look at the footage for that. Right, we are back at the head in this car park, in this Hemsbury Head car park. I'm guessing because we've got no children and people working, that's why it's completely and utterly clear, which is fantastic for what we're going to be doing today. So, as requested by quite a few of you now actually, I am going to tell you how to start the Keyway Superlight 125 specifically, because some of you haven't started your riding lessons, you're interested in the bike, and you probably did what I did by looking online and going, how on earth do I ride a motorcycle? Or how do I ride a Keyway Superlight 125? So I'm hoping this little informational video is going to help you, and we'll go from there. As you can see, there is no L plates on my bike, so I am super happy with that. The dripping down there, don't worry about it. It is just literally water. We've had quite a lot of water, and it's just standing water under the seat. So my seat, every time I sit down on it, it squishes up water. So don't worry. Right, so quickly go through the controls again. We have on this side of the bike, we have our clutch. So the clutch, you pull the clutch in, okay, and this allows you to disengage the gears like you do with a car. When you put your clutch down on the left hand side, this is the same sort of thing. You pull the clutch in and then you can change your gears. So in a car you cut the clutch in and you change your gear. Here you cut your clutch in, and we're using this pedal here. So neutral at the moment is at the moment. So neutral, and then you go down one, so you click this down one and that'll be first. So you hold the clutch in, down one for first, then clutch in again, up for neutral, so it means it doesn't go into gear, clutch in again, up again, and up again for the rest of your gears, depending on how many gears you have. But that's the essence of clutch and gear on this bike. You pull the clutch in and then you just use your gears as you need to on here. Now when you have your CBT, they will tell you how to ride a bike and how to do it safely. So again, disclaimer, this is not to teach you how to ride, this is just to show you that the controls on this particular bike and how I use it. Okay, I have my foot pedal here just as a planter, so I can just rest my foot because it's a cruiser. On this side here you have your horn, which works when you have your key ignition turned on. You have your dipped lights and your main beam, and you have your left indicator. If you go to the right side, okay, forget that for the minute, you have your right indicator, you have your off on button, your power switch, so basically it's a kill switch. At the moment the kill switch is depressed, so that means I've got it on all the time. When I switch it off at night time, I turn it off so there's no power. And this is your start button. This is extra, so forget about that. That's for my side lights. Obviously your ignition key, so when your ignition key turns on, then this goes live, okay? Then you've got your speedometer. White is kilometers an hour and then yellow is miles an hour, okay? Again, it'll change if you're in different countries, I guess, but the standard for this particular bike, it's like that. And there's your revometer here. Here you also have your hand brake, okay, so your front brake I should say. So this lever here activates the front brake of your bike, the front brake on your front tyre, your front wheel, which is the most strongest brake there is on a bike. And then to allow extra braking, you've also got down here on your right side on your foot the foot brake, and that foot brake activates the back brake. Okay, now on a bike you'll notice they've got a great big caliper or big brake, you can see that in the front, but I'm not sure I can see on here, but a very small one at the back. So we're about 80% braking capacity in the front and about 20% in the back. So when you want to stop, you're going to be using your front brake, your right side, more so than your back one. But again, this is something you need to learn on a CBT. I'm just showing you where the objects are here. Here's your petrol with a key, which is unique to the key that you've got here. And of course your petrol gauge, which is always a good idea to know how much petrol you've got on there. Right, let's see how we start up the bike. So I'm not going to go through CBT, I'm not going to go through tests and things like that. It's literally going to show you how we start the bike up and how we change our gears in a small confined area, because I can't do this on the road because I want to concentrate on my own riding the road, but I can do it here because we're off-road. So you're on the bike, the first thing is make sure that your side stand is up. If you end up putting your side stand down and trying to turn the key, it's not going to start because it's got a kill switch in it. Turn the key, as you can hear. Okay, so that's the starter motor starting, getting everything ready. I'm currently not in neutral at the moment, okay, so you've got to be really careful before you start anything. Make sure your bike is in neutral. Now, to make yourself in neutral, we're going to change your gear. So without even turning this on, hold your clutch in. I'm going to hold my front brake as well to keep you steady. And here, there's my pedal to push down. And I'm just going to try and find my neutral. And there we go. Okay? And I can release my clutch and release my handbrake. Okay? My foot brake goes on because I want to be stable and ready. Okay, so this is now the ready position. So we've got a light on here to say yes, we're ready. Got a neutral. This is already on. Let's start up. So we hold our clutch in. This is your start button. Make sure your back brake is on, so we're going to keep yourself stable. We're in neutral and we start it up. Just literally a press button. Okay, you notice the light goes out, and now I can release my clutch because I'm in neutral, but my foot is on the back brake. Okay, so at that point I can just rev it. The rev motor goes up and nothing happens because we're not going anywhere. We're not in gear, we're in neutral, which means there's no gear. Everything's disengaged. Okay, now I'm now putting my hand on the front brake to keep stability, putting my right foot down because I'm now going to use this leg to change a gear. All right, so foot up on the peg if you got it, or on the foot plate. I'm holding this clutch in. I'm going to press down once from neutral, it goes into first. Watch what happens to neutral. Okay, clunk, and now I'm in first. Okay, so now foot back on the back brake, let go of my handbrake. Okay, so I can't go anywhere. This is still held in because I am now in first gear, and if I let go, I am going to go jumping off ahead. And to show that, without using my throttle, so remember, this is the one that makes you go. Okay, so this is your throttle. If I leave that as it is, okay, and just literally let this out slowly without my foot brake being on, watch what happens to the bike. It's moving forward on its own. Okay, I'll pull it back in again, it'll slow down. So I can start the bike without even any power going to it. Watch this. Okay, nice and gently, pulling it forward. Can you hear the change of engine? See, it wants to go forward. All right. Now, what we want to do is control that. So I'm holding the clutch in. I'm going to keep my foot brake on now for stability. A few revs. Okay, so keep the revs up. Get to the biting point, and as I now release my clutch, it wants to bite. Now, if I release too quickly, it's going to go like that. Okay, it's going to jump and then it will stall. So just like in a car, when you're putting your foot down for the clutch and then you're putting your accelerator on to try to get at the biting point, is exactly the same way. So you give it a bit of rev, not too much, and as you give it revs, you release the clutch a little bit, and then let go. So I'm not doing anything now, I've just put a little bit of accelerator, and all I'm doing, this hand here, I'm just turning. So let's turn it around. This here gives you the speed, this here gives you the power on the right. It's very gentle, I don't have to do that all the time. Now I'm bumping around a lot because I'm showing you, if I just do it up and down, it does like a kangaroo. Now if you're doing slow stuff, okay, pull the clutch in, it releases the gear, so you're freewheeling the gears, which is not good. Relax and then let it out again. Okay, so your clutch and your throttle work synonymous together when you're changing gears and if you're doing slow moving. So at the moment I'm not even using my brakes or anything. Just get over this. Okay, I can go quite jumpy around here. It's not very smooth. So let's hold my clutch in, and I'm just going to rev it a little bit and go around in a circle. See? and it's just getting the biting point. If you can learn where the biting point is between your clutch and your throttle, okay, then you can start getting the bike to go forward, and then nice and smoothly you just let go of your clutch and then just increase your throttle. Okay, the more you practice, the better it will be. Again, the CBT will teach you this. After you get the idea about where the biting point is, okay, and if you need to do it by putting your feet down and just literally just trying this and walk it, that's fine. Okay, if it gives you the confidence just to walk the bike, not even touching it really, I'm letting the bike do it itself, but just to give you the confidence to know where the brakes are and where your clutch and your throttle is, then that's a good start. Now, next thing is going to be, how do I change to second gear? Because I've got neutral. So you remember, we've got gears, okay? If you think about it, if you think of a hand, okay, a thumb is the bottom, so your thumb is your first gear. The big space in between your fingers is going to be your neutral, and then you've got gear 2, 3, 4 and 5, or 6, it depends on how many you've got there. Okay, so 1 down past neutral is your first gear, you go 1 up to neutral, and then you go into second gear, 3rd, 4th and 5th. So let me just demonstrate that on here. So this is a really good way of remembering with your hand pointing down. Okay, so just check I'm in first. Okay, so foot on, foot brake. Okay, clutch is in, just going to go forward, find the biting point and relax and release. So now I'm not using my clutch. Okay, what I want to do now is I want to go into second gear. So to go into second gear, we're in first at the moment. We'll turn around. So increase speed, clutch in, foot up, let go slowly, increase your throttle. Okay, simple as that. And you do that with every gear. So this is in second gear at the moment. Let's go around. I'll increase the speed again. Increase the speed. Clutch in, foot up, let go of the clutch gently, increase your throttle. Now I'm in third gear, but this is now too slow for third gear, it will conk out. So I'm going to go down to second and then to first. That's right down to the bottom. Clutch is in, then pull the clutch out, pull up my accelerator, right, down, there we go. So changing gear, you off the throttle, so you bring the throttle forward, hold your clutch in, change your gear, throttle on, clutch out. Alright, and then going back down the gears, let go of my accelerator, push down to first, and then throttle out. Now if I want to stop, I've got two options. I can use my front brake, which is this hand. I can use my back brake. The back brake primarily is for slow, well, in my mind, it's for slow riding and for balance. If I'm riding behind a whole line of cars and I want to keep my balance, but we're going about 4 or 5 miles an hour, using your front brake isn't very effective. Well, it is effective, but it's not very, it doesn't really balance the bike out very well, as far as I can tell. For me, when I'm behind traffic, or if I want to go slowly, the back brake, this one here, just pushing it down, gives you the stability to go in slow riding. Okay, so let me show you this way. So on your mod 1, for example, and for CBT, you'll do a slow riding technique about 4 or 5 miles an hour walking speed by using your clutch and your throttle. Okay, and then if you need to slow down, your back brake. So let's try that. So I'm in first gear at the moment. Okay, I'm not using my front brake, I'm just going to use my clutch just to feather in biting point and keeping that revs up before it stalls it. I don't need to put my back brake on, but now look, if I put my back brake in and I want to do this nice slow ride, look at this. I can slow ride without touching my back brake, but the back brake is there if I want to then stop. So I want to stop here. I will then use, because I'm slow, my back brake, left foot down, and my foot is already on the back brake. If I then try and do that with my front brake at a slow speed, it's possible. So nice and slow, throttle in. It's a bit more awkward. It's possible. I didn't use that. I use this. If I'm a little bit faster, I don't want to slow down. I'm not in behind a car or anything like that. Just going to back brake it a little bit there. So actually, no, I want to stop. I can do that and then put my foot brake on. Okay. So I can use my front brake, and the front brake is really important because that's the biggest brake there is on the bike. The back brake supplements the front, and when you come to a stop, put your back brake on. Again, CBT, I keep on pushing to you, CBT is going to teach you this. Right, if there's any other questions you want to know about this, please do ask me. You guys out there who have been veterans bikers for ages, please do put your 2 cents worth in as well, because it's obviously a question that people are asking all the time, and if I haven't explained it properly or have not done it correctly, please do pipe up and say, actually Freya, what it is this, and I'm very happy for you to do that. Okay, right, so that's it. So we've gone through our clutch, we've gone through our front brake, our accelerator or our throttle, we've gone through our back brake. We know the controls of the bike. So now you've got the controls of the bike, have a CBT, learn how to ride it properly under instruction with a proper instructor, teacher in a school, and then when you pass your CBT, you will then learn properly how to ride a bike on the road. Okay, so thanks again for watching, and please make sure you do like and subscribe this channel. It really helps me out, and yeah, see you later. Ride safe, stay well. Bye bye for now.